It's a mirage.
Gadasha the Bountiful be praised that we have made it out of that hell-sent sandstorm. The hour grows so very late. I've told you parts of the saga that is my life, Hunter. But I have yet to divulge the true reasons for my haste. Perhaps, at long, so I shall. I did. Yes, I hissed, fool that I was. I should have died that day. But instead, I fell into a stupor and awoke in a different realm of Rivellon, bereft of all my wealth, and with my soul betrothed to a demon's debauchery that would be 10 centuries in the making. And yet, my bodily convalescence merely betrayed my utter mental degradation. A necromancer and a demonologist I had become. A lowly conjurer of... Like a savage, I lived in the wilds, a companion of beasts, not man. It was there that I learned to love them so, the animals of this world. These gentle beings that don't know the meaning of betrayal or greed, that kill but to feed, not because it brings them wealth or pleasure. In time, resolve settled within my soul, despite being so irrevocably besieged by dissolution. I decided that I wouldn't accept the shackling of my being. Yes, it is my resolve to kill the thing I summoned, and I have been stalking it for well over 9 centuries. I, Hunter, I am nearly 1,000 years old. 25 of them a king, the rest Balberith is the demon's name. If I don't find and slay him before the year is out, my soul will be his. Either I fail and suffer for all time. My instincts tell me he hides from sight in Phantom Forest. I could have guided you there, of course, but your own quest seems to push us in. Maybe we'll both find answers. Answers and conclusions. That is a good question. As for Hiraka, I don't know what happened to her. I have seen my erstwhile palace from afar, a ruin now. A house of wind and dust. Beyond a doubt, she moved on and lies as we speak, poor man. Like all men, he's a fool. Oh, but how I long to be wise. There has to be a first, hasn't there? If I can look her in the eye and denounce her, that shall be a start. But perhaps that day will never come. Born a fool and buried a fool. Perhaps that more prey... Oh.
What a life it is that Jehan has led. Like listening to a great tragedy. A tragedy that is about to come to an end.
To an end, yes. A tragedy no longer. There's time yet to slay that demon and save Jehan.
Indeed. But...
Stand back, pigskin! You're not welcome on our hallowed grounds! Dare you, bastard! Bah, pass if you want, but speak to the Great Spirit Totem. He'll decide your final fate until you... You have been granted access, pigskin! Move along!
Drink spirit wine. Sacred totems stay my hand, for I long to slay the filthy human skin. You speak to the spirits before I get too peckish. Go and rest. Drink spirit wine. To me, my goblins, gather round your totem.
Feeling hot under the collar?
This totem now stands.
You have been granted access. You have been granted access, pigs.
Enough. Go and rest. Drink spirit wine. What have we here? One of two. The two of one. The torn. Among these faithful minions of mine, you may stay unharmed. You may think, I wonder, don't you know? Reflect on that which was, is, and shall be. Then let us begin. Say you meet two soldiers on a strip of beach. They impede your way. They
I would stay true to my cause.
So would I.
Now say you meet a starving man. He is eyeing raw fish on a merchant's stall, as if it were the world's greatest treasure. Do you
I would close my...
So would I.
And finally, say that you meet a creature in distress. A beast of burden, perhaps, wounded while protecting his mistress or master when they were assaulted by lonely bandits. Do you...
I would go to great...
So would I.
Oh, shameless liar that you are. Your actions and words clash like water and fire into the midst of discord. Hear the spirits. Stab it. Skin it.
This totem leaves a nasty taste in the mouth and a vicious...
Then let us...
I would accept that.
So would I.
Now say you meet a starving man.
I would close my...
So would I.
And finally, gather round your totem.
I would go to...
So would I.
You have answered me truthfully. You who have been ripped from the ages. Your words do not belie your actions. Hear the spirits speak.
This totem leaves a nasty taste in the mouth and a vicious slitting at the back of the mind. I smell demons.
Gather round your totem. Dance for me, goblins. Revere me with a jolly jig. Enough. Go and rest. Drink spirit wine. To me, my goblins, gather round your totem. In reverence of
Warm
this
as dragon's
now
breath.
stand and fall to
Feeling hot under the collar.
It's a mirage.
again, my gracious ally. Would you care to trade? I'm flush with merchandise since the totems asked the goblins to donate their best equipment to the shaman. So, you stumbled upon my particular method of ministry. You see, not so long ago, one of our tribesmen stumbled across a mysterious red spot. Soon, it began to speak. A demon's voice it was, dark as night, where once they turned to their shaman for guidance. But I would not be so easily overlooked. I found this cave. The demon keeps his nose out of it, as long as there's enough bloodshed to go around. Though he did see fit to make an appearance when it... But there's no reason we can't keep this between us, friendskin. After all, better one of the... Come now.
The goblins deserve to know they're being controlled by a fraud.
Indeed.
I won't let you spread your filthy lies to my goblin brethren.
This is the end for you!
I'm sorry. Hey, my poor man.
Yes, Hunter. We have left a chest of our finest treasures at the totem.
To me, my goblins, gather round your totem.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Dance for me, goblins. Revere me with a jolly jig. Enough. Go and rest. Drink spirit wine.
Titan has seen into your soul and deemed you worthy of our wares. Goblin potions are the finest in the land, you know. Once more, thou insolent and ignorant pigskin, and Sadakandras, chief of goblins. I am the totem bearer, the lord of earth and sky. One day, village. Ha! This is a tribe's seat. This is sacred ground. The only reason you still live, she, Hoghide, is chief bitch of worm weak orcs in Hunter's Edge. Go there, yes, go, and she will make you.
How fast she scuttles!
shut tight.
Blessed may you be by all 7 gods, dear champion. But for your timely intervention, I would have ended up in either an orcish cauldron or the goblins. I'm from Hunter's Edge, a hamlet to the east of here. Heed my advice and stay well away from that pitiable place, for no human may walk there freely anymore. The orcs came in the night. Those who escaped their initial frenzy, eluded their horrid hunger, were all enslaved. I myself was en route to be sold as a slave to the goblins. But those idiot orcs didn't. We merry 3 were the only ones to escape the carnage and taking a bit of a breather, that is to say. The fight had made my orc guardians hungry once more. Had Pudgy Pete survived, it'd have been skinned and chopped by now. Regular devils, these orcs. Go ahead. The goblins have been the masters of Silverglen's mines for a while now. Took it by force. From what I hear, the erstwhile miners back in the village have no idea. Ask me not why. It has been the nucleus of such. Thanks again for
Treasure!
Strawberry jam.
Seems like these trolls have been busy of late.
They must have been powerful indeed to overcome.
Look! One of the alien aspect approaches. Go on, my boy. State the ancient demand. Troll. Well nigh correct, my son.
Troll.
You come very close in your approximation of the venerable bid, my boy. But a tight... Capital, my son. Most now then, dearest wanderer of Lucula's leaf-strewn lanes, you have heard our inviolable command. Pay us, trolls, the toll that is our prerogative. I am Bridgekeeper Archibald, and this wee cherub is my dear son. Amadeus. I'm in charge of his education, and will see to it that one day he shall become the greatest bridge-keeper ever. Ask them, and I shall answer. Those clubbed unfortunates over yonder, they did not pay the toll, traveler. And to be clubbed, I'm afraid, is the fate that indubitably befalls those who do not heed the... Because our king deems it equitable that we should do so. His word is law amongst us trolls, and by extension, they say only one of your kind has ever met him, and even that is but a rumor. Maradino is the name this exception went by. I was told he had a lair upon Lucula's desert plain, but have never seen proof myself. All for the better, I believe.
Bang!
With a bang indeed. Now then, my boy, please acquaint our aspirant.
The toll is one... What?
Indeed it is not, Amadeus, as you very well know. Greed is a vice, my son. It is a vulture most vile that preys on 1,350...
1,350 or 1 million. We won't pay you two a penny.
Well spoken.
How very base and discourteous. This underling denies us our primordial privilege, tramples the sacred words of...
We go club!
Lightning!
Now we need a sound of thunder. Let him have it, Daddy!
I've been struck by lightning!
Taste of the gathering storm.
Glory in this death!
Wake up! The humans need more clubbing. Stand up, Daddy.
This is the end!
Hey,
Or you!
stand up.
I am powerless to act.
Why are you sleeping? Get up. Get up. Get up, Daddy.
The time of your death is at hand.
Daddy, stand up, Daddy. The louts will get away. Oh, do stand up. Daddy, why are you sleeping? Get up. Get up. Get up, Daddy.
Damn you, Tim Pratt. I'll put you in a stew if you don't get your act together. Howdy. Lovely day for a romp through the forest, ain't it?
But Silver Glen can't be far away now, can it? Maurice, dearest, you do have a tendency to state the obvious.
Hey, you lovebirds, you. How about we head for the hills, mates?
Such legs she has. Such delicate hooves. No other creature in creation can compare.
Ha! Like hell. Goblins round here swarm as thick as flies round my cattle's asses. Put an axe in my bodyguard's face, one of them did. So, you wish to partake in a polite little parley about our respective prospects. I'm Roy. I'm in the animal trade. And instead of knocking back cheap rye in Silver Glen, I'm stuck in a friggin' forest surrounded by totem worship. Aye, my latest set of merchandise. Joy to herd 'em, that lot, until they crap all over your shoes, that is. Won't cost me fortunes on boot full of lunatics, that place, or so I've been told. They'll slice these beasts from ear to ear the moment. Must you? Donnie? Bah, some thug from Seal he was. All balls. No, figured right, not but your typical mining settlement is Silver Glen. You know the kind. No kidding. Ferocious as a hungry mountain lion, that lot. With swords and spears for talons. Donnie and I must have adventured. Oh, you'll provide protection, will ya? Like hell you will. You with your fancy weapons and armor, you rattle like a gypsy's wagon.
Dearest, you do have a...
So this cad is leading these beasts to the slaughter. I say we slaughter him.
Some of us enjoy a nice red steak with our evening ale.
Sup, mate? I'm Timford, mate. Say what?
Ahoy, traveller. I'm Bruce. Ram, roamer, and reveller. Revel in what you ask. Why, yes, live in lamb.
Cow, brown cow? Donnie
A shiny day. You're in... Oh, Marie. Yes, that'll... You're in... Oh, Maurice. Yes, yes, dear me. Bit late for that, innit? Trust you to raise a moot point. I can't.
Damn. You cows smell something fierce. Well, well, well. Blast your eyes. That cursed coney would have fetched me. What? Seriously? Shut it. You think I risk life and limb for a bit of beef and mutton? Either you pay me in gold, or you leave me alone before all this chatter attracts the damn goblins.
Maurice, dude.
Moo!
Oh, you always say the sweetest things. But you may skewer one of them with your horns. Perhaps even as much as 5. In the end, you can't skewer them all. Poor Maurice, we're doomed.
There's certainly something to be said for that. Risk my life for a rabbit and such? Madness.
The hero of the hour, nay, the century. How agreeable it is to gaze upon you, my champ.
Moo?
Well said, my dear Maurice. Well spoken indeed. But what shall we? Perhaps we could seek those legendary pastures that nasty creature of a Roy described. They may well be real, for a man such as he hasn't the
Only danger lies ahead. Go back to Sicile and be safe there.
Better to be safe.
Yes, I suppose you're right, sweet liberator. In fact, there's no supposing about it.
Moo! Baking like a cake.
Did someone leave an oven door open?
Quickly before my audience disperses. I can't seem to convince Mrs. Hollingsworth there to choose a tale. Would you mind doing us all the honor? I'd be harrowed to sing to you of Gracchus Rex, the last Source King. Delighted to sing of Astarte, the fallen goddess of the Source. Terrified to tell you, and so sing I Gracchus Rex, that most. Another story, Source. Our first. Sing the. Another story, take care, Source. Left the deathly hag.
Oh, do you hear it, friend? The forest music hums, buzzes, falls and rises like waves, like starlight through the atmosphere. Perhaps my music can help you unlock your dreams. Perhaps one of my compositions could add some fire.
Husbands and children.
Perhaps my music. Oh, mate. Perhaps my music. Oh. Perhaps my music can help. Well, chap. Perhaps more music, I protect.
Just beneath his breath.
I could do with a cold drink.
Oh, very sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's just next God's Day is going to be very eventful for the likes of you. Profess? Hardly. Who can stand those dried-up old windbags with their Ah, yes, Source Hunter. I do not profess to see the future. I simply do. I'll have roasted rabbit for supper next week. My firstborn, Charlio, will arrive on a clear-skied afternoon, and in 7 years' time I'll inherit a pouch of gold as well. Certainly not the whole story, if I'm perfectly honest. A rare event indeed. Some threads are missing from this particular cat's cradle, but I've worked out the major details. The truth is a grande dame, Source Hunter. I'm sure, and I'd like the voices in my head to quit their mewling, but they insist to me as I'll insist to you. Money talks. 6 secrets I may have for you, Source Hunter. Granted, you can pay the price. That depends. How much have you got? Choose carefully, Source Hunter, for I can only consult the heavens for you a single time. One mustn't become too greedy regarding if you meet any wanderers. Send them our way, won't you? My priceless collection of life ceramic infants won't grow itself, you know.
Dead calf and dying.
Think she sees the future, does
He
she?
stood beside her upon the deathbed.
Think she'll see it
and
coming if I
dance
slap
they
her
did
upside her empty head?